Hello all, Namaskar. Hope you all are doing good. So basically, many of you have asked, as the winters are coming, many of you had asked that how do we increase our productivity and efficiency in winter days, and it's becoming really a challenge nowadays to wake up early in the morning. Our sleep cycle has been, it's like, oh, you don't want to get up from the bed, and it's quite normal as such. But as an aspirant, we have our own commitments, and we cannot delay that because whatever we do now, it has something a bearing on the subconscious mind. If you put the alarm on at 6 o'clock and you wake up at 10, the mind itself says to you, okay, you are not the person who follows his own orders. So somewhere, so as an aspirant, we have to deal with all those things. So we have to wake up early. So it has become really a challenge nowadays, in the winter, because the the whole of the environment is like it is conspiring to make you feel asleep. So how do you deal with it? So as someone has asked me on one of the post, I thought it is a very genuine thing, because during my days also I used to search that how can one increase his or her productivity or efficiency during the winter days. So in fact, while I was working in Maruti Suzuki as well, we had our there is something called, you have to reach the office by time. They say it is punch time or something. So you have to be there at that point of time. And in winter in Delhi, in Gurgaon, it is really difficult, because as the peak, you can say it is in December or January. It is very very difficult to wake up early in the morning, and especially when when you live with the friends, and you have long night chats, and it is very difficult to wake up in the morning. So I had my own ways in which I used to wake up, and I feel some of them can help you, because and these are the things that I also embraced during my aspirants phase as well, to wake up early whenever needed. So that's why I would discuss some of the ways. But before that, let us understand why in winter are we facing this thing. First of all, why do you feel so sleepy and so lethargic during the winter? The reason is less sun exposure. Now you may ask, what the hell will happen if I have less sun exposure? The number one thing, we have a hormone called melatonin. You never know, this might be a question in prelims as well, or in some GK, this thing. Okay, the melatonin is widely considered by many as sleep hormone, because it regulates the what you say, the wake and sleep cycle. It determines how much you sleep and how much wakeful you remain, and it is if I'm not wrong, it is secreted by the pineal gland. So it is a hormone. What happens, the when the what you say the when the sun exposure gets reduced, the effect of melatonin to induce more sleep in you, to make you more lethargic by its secretion, increases. So when in winter, what happens, the sun shines for lesser time, the days are shorter, the nights are longer, and you don't want to go outside as well. So that's what happens in winter. We don't go out and we have less sun exposure. That's why the effect of melatonin leads us to, what you say, feel more lethargic and what you say, very very tired, and you don't want to get up from the bed. There is another reason to it also. We all know that vitamin D is made naturally in the body when we expose our skin to sunlight during certain hours of the day. Now in winter again, we don't go out, and what happens due to that, the vitamin D secretion is reduced. And what happens due to that, that our productivity and the, what you say, our own what you say, the cheerfulness, the activity, they all reduce day by day. So that's why it is very important to expose yourself to sunlight, maybe for lesser point of time, but if you want, you can do it as much as you need, as per the required standard procedures and the standard set of guidelines. But what happens in winter, we tend to reduce it, and that is the sole reason of whole lot of problem. In fact, I remember while I was working at Bosch, one of my, what you can say, friend, maybe you can say, because not very close friend, but a very distant friend of a friend, like that thing. So he used to live in the Europe, and what happens, the winters in Europe are very what is a very very disastrous. Not disastrous in the sense, I'm telling disastrous in the sense that it is very extreme as such. If you will compare it to India, we are in the tropical region, that's why it is a bit more relaxing. But there it is hardcore, bone chilling winter. And what happened, due to less exposure to sun, After a few, if I'm not wrong, within some 4 to 5 months, he was feeling very weak, and he used to, what you say, he used to become unconscious many times. And when tested, it was realized that the vitamin D is in very deficient stage. So somewhere now you must be realizing that how important is exposing ourselves to the sunlight, not of course too much, but the optimum amount, and due to which the secretion of melatonin is regulated and the vitamin D is produced, which leads to our more effectiveness in performance and efficiency. Now, what are the steps that we need to do? And this is something that we have to discuss. Number one, that related to sleep. Now, number one thing, what happens? Why do you don't want to get out of the bed? That is the number one question. Why don't you want to get out of the bed? Imagine in a very chilly morning where the temperature is too low. You don't want to get out of the bed. Maybe you are rising at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, but you don't want to get out of the bed. Why? The moment you take the blanket off your body, you will feel very cold. You are not very comfortable with the clothing that you wear. That's why you don't want to get out of the bed. What I used to do in my days, I used to sleep with sweaters, and maybe you can say socks or gloves. With all those things, I used to sleep. And in the morning, what happens? You don't feel so much cold when you take off the blanket, because you are already geared up with all those things. So this is something, it might appear very naive, very silly thing to you, but I'll say please try it, and it works wonders. It works wonder for me as well. I used to sleep with all those things, and in fact there is another advantage to it also, because while sleeping, if you just take off your blanket, you don't have the the chance to get cold. But to many, it might act like discomfort. But I feel with practice you can do that. But for me, it was perfectly fine. I used to wear all those things and sleep in the morning. Even if I remove the blanket in the 5 or 6, I didn't feel the cold as such, and it was very, very, very comfortable and easy to do. The most difficult part of waking up is leaving the bed, and this makes it easy. That's why it is very important. Number two, there are certain alarms that forces you to wake up. There was an alarm that I used back then. It was called Alarmy. I don't know what is the status now. And I had put that very difficult level of math sums. It will ring continuously unless you solve all those math problems. There are many other ways. It might ask you to go and take photograph. You can set the puzzles that you want. So what happens, by the time you do all those things, your mind is opened up and you're not feeling very sleepy. Now there is another way after that. What you can do to break the sleep as such. Imagine you have wore all those things. You have put on all the winter clothing and gears. After that, what you've done, you put the alarm, and now you are wake up you have woken up and you have left the bed. But there will be a feeling that, okay, I want to go to the bed again. That is that you have to break that also. How do you do that? The best thing is that just wash your face, and you will feel very relaxed. Then after that, what you can do, you can do some exercise. You can finish your daily course as well, whatever is there, and you can do some exercise in the meanwhile. Exercise is what pumps up the blood. It makes you feel very warm. You must be knowing, you will be sweating. It might be bone chilling cold outside, but you do exercise and you feel sweating, and you feel as if the hot blood is being pumped up. It will help you break your sleep. You can go for a walk. If you are feeling very comfortable, if the outside temperature is okay, fine, you can go for a walk, and it will help somewhere. So that's what I used to do. This is one thing. Now there is another thing to it. There is another dimension to it, that the whole problem of whole of the thing, if you go to the hormone thing, that the melatonin and vitamin D, it is less exposure to the sun. So if you can increase your exposure to sun, so that you are again, I'm a bit of caution, don't expose too much to the sun, because it might be harmful, but to the optimum level, because the mornings of the winters, the sun rays are very, very, very not very intense. It's very, very comforting. So you can stay over there, and you can stand out for some time. At least you can stand out every day, so that vitamin D is secreted. You must be knowing there are certain hours in which we need to expose ourselves to sunlight. Of course, it is up to you. You can do whatever your natural course are, but don't overexpose. But yes, increased exposure, at least the level of exposure it is there during the summer season, you can do that in the winter as such at the minimum level, so that the issue of the hormones like the melatonin and the vitamin D gets resolved. Now another aspect to doing that is you controlling your diet. Take light food in the dinner, because what happens, it is a winter season, the metabolism might not be as efficient as in the summer days because the temperature is getting low. So what happens, the digestion might not be proper in the winter night. So what happens, if your digestion is not proper, you will feel very lethargic. So it is very important to take light foods in the dinner. That is very, very, very important. You will realize it if you do. If you will eat for one day and you will think, okay, miracle will happen next day, it is not so. You have to take it for some days and you will realize it. So that is very important. Number two things, what you can do, you can take some hot beverages. There would be many who would be the ardent lovers of tea and coffee. I don't recommend any such things to anyone over here. It is your wish as such. But you can take some very healthy beverages. Although I love tea and coffee, but I would not recommend it to you all. You can take some very healthy beverages. That is fine. Do anything that helps you push up. There are you can take some soup as well if you want. Some homemade soup, not to order outside. You can make some hot homemade soup. You can take hot water with lemon. Anything is fine. The hotness, this will quickly blink up your mind and you will be very, very, very active. Okay, so that is something there. Now there is another thing, that what is that, try to sleep early. Because if you will sleep early, then only you will sleep, you will wake up early. The body has the what you say, its own rhythm. There is a cycle to it. So it is very pertinent that you must sleep early so that you will rise early. And the ways to sleep early, there are many. You can listen to some meditation music. You can make the environment calm and composed. You can switch off the lights, whatever is there. You have to be no mobile zone, just 1 hour of sleep, whatever is there. All the so-called things you might be knowing. So all those things you can do, but it is very important to sleep early. And another thing, it is not advisable as such to take a nap during the winter afternoon, because the winter afternoon, taking a nap in winter afternoon might not be very helpful, because the sun's rays, many say that the sun's rays are quite, if you'll see, the intensity of sun rays is very low in the morning. In the afternoon, it is quite a bit intense. So many say that, although see, there are different viewpoints. Some say sunlight in the morning gives vitamin D, leads to formation of vitamin D. Some say it is in the afternoon that forms of vitamin D. But the afternoon light of the sun in the winter might help production of vitamin D and all. Number two things, if you will sleep in the afternoon, what will happen? You might stay awake till late night, and your whole dream to wake up early will be smashed. So that's why it is very important. And another thing, take breaks. But don't exhaust yourself too much. Take breaks, go for a walk, take some hot beverages. It will help. It will enhance your productivity and efficiency, the way you study, the way you carry on yourself. So this is there. Now let us come to the most important part. How do you wake up early? Because we have discussed all those things. These are all the outer knowledge. But the most important thing is your dedication and conviction to wake up early. Without that, there is nothing possible. Even if you do all those things, you might not wake up early. See, have you ever analyzed, if there is a flight or a train to catch, even though we have slept for only 1 or 2 hours, we wake up at the perfect time. But for studying, we are not waking up. Why? We lack the dedication and conviction. We know that we have option that, okay, tomorrow we will do it. ये कल जो होता है ना, यही आपको बहुत पीछे धकेल देती है. This feeling that I'll do it tomorrow, this is something that is very disastrous. Don't be, don't get into the zone where you are delaying the things unlimitedly. That's why Kabir has said, Kabir Das ji has said, कल करे सो आज करे सो अब, पल में प्रलय हो जाएगा, बहुर करेगा कब. Kabir ji has said it. So that's why it is very important to say that whatever you want to do tomorrow, do it today. And make conviction. Even if you have conviction, even if you don't do all the steps I have said earlier, if you have conviction, you will be able to wake up in the morning. And there are many things. There is a book. Many say there are many books on positive affirmations. Many say The Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And there are many other books. Positive affirmations means you tell to yourself what to do. So in the night, if you will say to yourself, I will wake up in the 5, I will wake up in the 5, I will wake up in the 5 in the morning, so maybe 10, 20 times, you will see automatically your sleep, you will be waking up at 5. So after that, it is your job. We have discussed the ways to get out of the bed. But waking up at the 5 will be natural. You might not need alarm after some time. So those all things are there. So that needs to be done. So somewhere at the end, it comes to your dedication, your own conviction. How much badly do you want to get up early in the morning? That's what which matters. So somewhere these are the things that I wanted to discuss. And the one of the most important thing that you can do is you can make the study area very comfortable. It should not be like the window is open, the cold air coming and all. So you will be feeling lethargic and all. So make it very comfortable. You can have some light over there. Light gives warmth and all. So that is there. So I'm telling all this for the winter thing. And in fact, it is, in my opinion, it is always helpful to wake up early in the morning. You might be knowing there are many books, 5 a.m. club and all those things. The concept of Brahma Muhurt. So these are things, they say that the world conspires in a way to make you learn more things when you wake up early in the morning. So there are a lot of things to it. I don't want to discuss it over it right now. But the most logical thing that you can see, that by waking up early, you are avoiding the chaos of the world. While everyone is sleeping, you have finished some of your tasks. That too with more attention, more concentration, and with very less distraction. So this is something that I have felt. So just that I wanted to say. And again, I will say, no matter what all steps that you take or not, what matters is whether do you have the conviction, whether do you have the the right resolve to achieve your goal. That's what matters at the end. To wake up early in the morning in the winter and to increase your effectivity, efficiency and productivity during the winter. So winters are coming, the winters are here. Please take care, stay safe, make yourself warm. Don't get into all those the diseases like the common cold, flu, by negligence as such. There are many things which you cannot avoid. That's fine, completely fine. Take proper medications, take proper care of yourself, eat nutritious food, take a lot of water, and the winter will go, and you will be triumphant in your journey by utilizing the time over here. Thank you again. Namaste. And I hope that all of our dreams get true with the times that are yet to come. Namaste again. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.